Hello and welcome to Soul Symbols. My name is Shelley and this is our weekly energies reading. This is actually the first weekly energy reading that I'm holding for my channel. I'm really excited to be here on YouTube, and I'm so grateful that you could join me today. I am new to YouTube. I just started this last week on Tuesday with my How to Tarot series. I do post twice a week on Tuesdays and on Saturdays, and I am just kind of getting my legs with the video world. So I appreciate your patience. If there's anything that you observe that you would like to see get better, please let me know. I am definitely looking at last week's video and this week's video to test for both sound quality and for video quality. I apologize, on Tuesday there were a few breaks with the video, like some cutting and pasting. I think today is going to be much more seamless. It's going to be straight through without any as much editing. If you choose to go straight to the reading, I will put a timestamp in the description box below. And in the beginning of each video, I'll just do some brief announcements. And then what we'll do is we will pick from one of three piles, and we'll go ahead and do the energies for the week. I'm going to do kind of a general spread. It's going to be kind of a beginning of the week, middle of the week, and end of the week. And then I'm going to I have two decks of oracle cards, and then one very special deck that I'm going to talk about in just a second. I'm really excited to use this one, and we'll go into all the details in that in just a moment. But these weekly energies do go from Saturday to Saturday. Today goes from Saturday, October 5th, to, I believe it's Saturday, October 12th. One caveat is that if you do feel drawn to this this video at a time that is not October 5th to October 12th, 2019, that is completely okay. A lot of card readings can be universal, where if you feel instinctively drawn to it, there might be a message for you at that time, no matter what time you're watching it. So these are universal. You can use the card readings that way, and if you find yourself drawn to it, by all means, also weeks later, if you revisit the video and you gravitate towards a different pile, by all means choose that pile and see what other messages are in store for you. Now, the decks that I'm using today, the tarot is going to give the main descriptors. We have the we have the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. In the middle, and you can also choose from stones if you choose. I believe this is some type of sunstone, I believe. It looks very much, it's a little bit more brown in color, which I paired with the crackleback. But I believe that's a sunstone. This is definitely smoky quartz, and the middle pile is the Anna Kay tarot. The images in that are very easy to read, and I like that for general readings. The last pile is it's more of a watercolor deck, and I'm sorry, I'm going to put the description, I'm going to put the exact name of all three decks in the description box below. But it's a beautiful German artist who does watercolor, and it's a smaller deck, but the images are very, very straightforward, and I was drawn to use it in today's reading. The stone, because pile 3 had a smaller deck, I decided to compensate by giving you a pretty big stone. This is actually, it's a quartz, and it's a little bit more of a lavender kind of color, and this kind of has a story. This was the very first stone that I had ever bought when I was studying tarot, like many, many moons ago. I purchased it from a little store in Maryland called the Silver Fox, and the Silver Fox has been around forever. It's in Laurel, Maryland, and it's the coolest store. It's been around for decades, and it's just everything new age and very cool. I actually, I like to sew as well, and it's funny. I had created, this is my fifth, I think I was 15 or 16 years old when I sewed little stitches, and I use that to hold the stones. So pile 3, you have a very special stone if you're drawn to it. I mean, if you're drawn to it. I do ask that you just kind of use your gut instinct. I kind of think of it, if you study chakras, kind of your solar plexus, that right behind your rib cage, whatever pulls at you, either that, or if there's something about the artwork or with the position, that would be a good indicator of what to go with. Also, I do not offer personal readings, but I do create card bags for all of my decks. I like to sew. And so this is, for my Anna Kay, I have kind of a linen bag. Every once in a while, I do have an Etsy shop. I can post details if you see a bag that you like, or if there is a special deck that you use and you want to do a custom bag. I absolutely love that. If you want to DM me through my Etsy shop, I can definitely look at specialty material, and I like to make them very quality. So I even like to include little pockets to hold the stones, so like with my Anna Kay, I keep the stone together with the cards. And if that's something, that you're interested in, let me know. That is something I do in addition to the card reading. Now, the special thing about the decks using is we have the Animal Spirit Oracle that we're going to be using today. And again, all the names of the decks are in the description box below. And then we also have another Oracle deck. This one is extremely positive. I love the messages in this deck. And it's just one that I go to on a personal basis every day. So I'm really excited to share that. The last deck, the one that I am stupid excited over this, I just have to share, is the Self-Care deck by DejaDrewit. It's Deja, D-E-J-A, and then Drewit, like she drew it, D-R-E-W-I-T. And what she is she is an artist and a mom, and she actually put this deck out on Kickstarter like 2 years ago. Kickstarter is kind of like a funding site for startup businesses, artists and writers. You see a lot of tarot decks that come out on Kickstarter, and what it is you go, and if you see a project that you like, you can be what they call a backer. You can submit a pledge to buy the product. If the product reaches its goal, if it actually gets enough money to fund, then you are charged. You are not charged if it does not fund. But then what happens is you get sent the deck. Now, what had happened with this is that this was an older Kickstarter project from like 2017. It was like several years ago, and it wasn't being printed anymore. I went to her website and it was out of stock, but she said that she had revised the deck and created a few new images, and then she did a second edition of it that happened to come out at the end of September. And what it is the deck is, again, she even if you, it's very versatile for those who do not even read Oracle. All it is it's different images that talk about different activities that you can do. So like flowers, you can, ritual is more of something that you do every day. It doesn't have to be anything, religious based. Read. It's just all these really cool things that, if you are she's a hardworking mom, and she just thought, you forget to take care of yourself sometimes when life gets busy. And I just found that this is such a nice deck, even if you don't read cards formally for yourself. If you drew one card a day, like for instance, I like to draw my energies the night before, and then see what the next day, or messages that pertain to me, and it's just amazing, and I think it's great. This card came up gift, and what this is actually today, October 5th, is my birthday, and And two gifts that I gave myself was, the first gift was this channel on YouTube, and the second gift was that I pre-ordered this, and it came like last week, and I was so excited. I started pulling a card a day to see, and it's amazing. It really integrates, it plays into the reading so well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read your week, and then I'm going to clarify your week with the oracle, and then we're going to go to our self-care deck, and we're going to say, what can you do for yourself this week? So it'll be like a little mission. You'll be given a mission, you know, with that card deck there. So all right, so I've talked enough. We'll go ahead and get started. And again, I'll put a timestamp, so if you want to skip all the gum flapping, I will let you go straight to your reading. I'll go ahead and pause the video. I'm going to put up a picture of the 3 piles. So go ahead and choose a deck. Excuse me. I'm going to cough a minute. Pardon me. You know, that's so funny. Okay, just have to share this. Last night, when I pulled my energies for the day, guess what my tile was? And I coughed just now. Okay, so enough said. I think I'm in the zone. I'm warmed up. Let's do this. Okay, so deck 1, Rider-Waite Smith. Deck 2, Anna Kay. Deck 3 is the watercolor deck, and I will post the name in the description box below. Please choose from your intuition, and we'll get started. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let us begin with the traditional Rider-Waite Smith. That is, okay, that top card for the watercolor deck really wants to come out. I might pull that first when we get to your deck. So, all right, Rider-Waite Smith. This is the deck that's going to be prominently featured in all of my How to Tarot series, because it's Rider-Waite Smith, and it's the main cornerstone of, all right. Is there 3 here? There's 3 here. All right. So we're going to go beginning of the week, middle of the week, end of the week, because that's how it would read when I flip it over. How does that sound? Sound good? All right, so done. And let's go ahead and flip it over. Oh, guys. Oh, wow. I was waiting. I was like, is the 3rd one going to be a major arcana? Let's see. Let us see. You guys have a powerful week. All right. Now, this is your animal oracle cards. This is another deck that I absolutely adore. I really do. Ooh. Okay. There's kind of too many, but here, let's go with the top one. I think the top one is what it's pointing at. I'm just going to see if there's any other that really want to fly. No, I think we're good. We're going to go with that top one, okay? And then we're going to take one, because we're going to take one from, this is your one. This is your one. Okay. All right. And let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take out your self-care card, and I'm going to keep it face down unless it wants to flip out. Okay. That's the one. That one bounced. This one bounced against my thumb, and it really, I think that's saying, pick me, pick me. So I'm picking you. You are the chosen one. All right. I've been told that that you want to be yourself in your YouTube videos. So if I get a little out of check, I apologize. But all right, deck 1, Rider-Waite Smith, your week. Now, so this is kind of the beginning of the week, Monday through kind of Wednesday-ish, and then Wednesday through Friday-ish, and then your weekend. And then it does go from Saturday to Saturday, but if you kind of want to read that in as including Sunday. And so the beginning of the week, we have the Empress. That is, and then the middle of the week, we have the High Priestess. And then the end of the week, or the wrapping up the week, we have the 3 of Wands. Then your oracle cards is Horse Spirit, and these are gorgeous cards. The imagery is so pretty. And it says freedom is yours. And then your oracle card is give yourself the best. I love the Antoinette hair. You look at that. It's in the shape of a heart. It's like, oh gosh. And then, okay, so what this is telling me is the beginning of the week is going to start off very fertile. And I know that sounds like a weird term to use, but the Empress, you can see, and actually we're going to be talking about her card in the How to Tarot in like a week or so. But look at how she's a pregnant woman. She's sitting on a throne. On her shield, she has the Venus symbol, and she has a scepter. And I've always loved her crown. Her crown, it just, you know what, it looks like the coquetine tiara that the Queen of England wears, which is just this diamond encrusted, mass of diamonds. And what it is that's the mother card. That's the mother of mother cards. She encompasses all 4 of the major arcana queens into one. And she is the creator. She's nurturing, she's beautiful, and she gives birth to things. A lot of times that can represent a mother. So it could mean that something is going on, or you might have some interaction with your mother at the beginning of the week, and she might be doing something like for you, taking care of you or giving you things. The other interpretation, the feeling that I'm getting is that you are going to have some kind of birth of something. It can be an idea, it can be a creative activity, it can be something that you really love to do, like if you like to knit, if you like to sew. There's going to be some kind of new creative project that you are in essence giving birth to, and it's going to be, it can be helping other people, but you're going to be in the Empress energy at the beginning of the month, and that's a major arcana too. That's the beginning of the story. That's a very powerful card. Now, as you progress into the middle of the week, and this is amazing, you go right into the High Priestess, honey. And the High Priestess, again, we're going to How to Tarot. She's going to be coming up next. She'll be coming up before the Empress. But she's a very mysterious card. But to give kind of a brief description, she is the protector of the subconscious. She understands New Age things. She has an understanding of the physical world, and she has an understanding of the non-physical world. So here I see you just, whatever you're creating this week has almost it's almost going to transcend you. It's going to give you a new understanding of something. And have you ever started a project and it just made you, it raised your consciousness? Like something about it made you see the world in a different way, or you just understood something about, the divine, or the way that everything integrates with everything. Now, this could also mean like if you do something like counseling, I noticed that just having interactions with people or nurturing people, and goodness knows when you're raising children as well, the children just, you'll have a day when you're raising a child and they just say something to you that is so profound and makes you just think of life in a different way. That's kind of what I think of with the High Priestess. So you having a very powerful week. That is amazing. You're going to be starting something that's absolutely like almost one of those cornerstone moments in your life that, you're starting something really that you'll remember for the rest of your life. And then it's really going to change your consciousness about something. You're going to understand this. Also, the High Priestess is also kind of an enigmatic kind of person. She's mysterious. And if I know that if you're a man looking at a woman, the High Priestess, she's a little androgynous in the way that she looks, but she has an allure. Her gown looks like flowing water, and she's stepping on the crescent moon. And in her hand is the scroll of the Torah, which is a very, she understands spiritual things. So whatever it is, whatever brainchild, creative child, real child, it's going to have some kind of psychological, conscious raising effect on you this week. Now, as you wrap up the week, and we kind of go back into a minor arcana, we go into the Three of Wands, and it's not really a downer, but it's definitely not. It's not as dynamic as the beginning of the week, and you definitely get a very strong feminine vibe too. You get, that's just kind of girl power. As we go to the end, the Three of Wands is, you see that he is standing on a cliff, and he on a mountainside, and if you look at it, there are little boats in the distance. The Three of Wands is the next card up from the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is making a decision. Do I stay in my castle or do I go to this other thing? And you see that now he has left the castle and he has gone down to the waterfront, and it's like he's waiting for those ships to come in because he has something on those ships are coming to him. So I see this as being a beginning, and then by the end of the week, you're standing there, staff in hand, waiting for the fruits of your labor. And the fruits of your labor are there, honey. You can see them. They're in the harbor, and you're just waiting. You're waiting patiently for them to sail into you. So I see by the end of the week, you're going to have this powerful start. It's going to be very transformative and enlightening. And then by the end of the week, you're just going to be kind of waiting for, it's going to be kind of a breather after all of this activity for this wonderful, product to come into you, which is well earned. You earned it. Now, when I look at this, what I think is amazing is, okay, all of the oracle cards have numbers, and it's 3-3. And guess what number the Empress is? Yeah. And then you got 2, and the number 2 is the High Priestess. So you got 3 2 times. I'm going to be talking a lot about synchronicities, and that's a synchronicity. So 3, and you got another 3. Look at that. Oh, I just noticed that. See, duh. You got two 3s, two 3s, and a 2 in the middle. You're sandwiched. Like, look at that. And 3 is very powerful. It's mind, body, spirit. It's the, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I mean, it's a very powerful number. And what kind of stood out to me is that on the horse is that kind of light blue, neon blue. And you look at the cloak and the cross and everything with the High Priestess. I think really you are in an amazing time. I just think there's something that you're doing this week that you just feel like you are like a wild horse that's just been let out to run. It's something that you're good at. It's something that you're meant to do. It's your spirit. It's the very essence of your being let out and allowed to run. And I just think that's what it's telling you to do. And it's funny, when you look at this horse, the head is kind of down. And I used to horseback ride growing up, and one thing that I loved about the horses is that when you canter, the horse's chin kind of tucks in that way, and you kind of pull in, and they get into this pace. It's not galloping, but it's not trotting. It's this really steady and fast. You go places with it. I think I'm getting that feeling. And wow, 3, 3, 2 in the middle. It's almost like parallels, I just feel like there is some kind of creative project. It could be something that you've had on your mind for a long time. I mean, goodness knows, my this channel, it's like, wow, maybe it's telling you you're ready to run, and you have full range, honey. You kind of left the castle, and you're on your way. You're on your way. And the oracle card that I got for you is Give Yourself the Best. And again, I love this. And again, it being a birthday week, I'm like, okay, nothing, anything, if I have any fellow Libras watching this, anything with your name on it doesn't have calories, okay? I had some tiramisu cheesecake last night. I'm not worried about it. That's my birthday. It's my birthday. Anyway, but I've read, there's a really great book that goes along with this, and it talks about not being afraid to do little nice things for yourself. And I try not to get out of hand with it too, because I do the same thing. I'm like, ooh, well, I want my new deck, and I want this, and it's my birthday, and I should do this. But here, it's just basically saying, you do something nice for yourself. That fancy perfume that you've always wanted. Go for it. And I'm just going to read the book real quick, just because it has such a great. They describe it so well. It says number 58. Which translates to the number 13. The ego has a tendency to deny you the good things in life. Rather, it suggests that you're not worthy of the best, the beautiful, and the finest, and you shouldn't expect it. Not only should you have the best in life, you should give it to yourself. Start by offering yourself the best of education. Read and inform yourself with all the wonderful and creative knowledge available to educate your mind. Give yourself the best of friends. Afford yourself the best of nature. I love that message. Eat the best food that's fresh, nutritious, and lovingly prepared. Sleep on the best pillow. Wear the best shoes and socks. Watch the best entertainment. And you see what I mean about that? I remember I kind of have curly hair, and I remember one time I dropped $20 on a silk pillow, because it really does. It helps, keeps me non-frizzy. That's what it's kind of talking about. You don't have to buy yourself the cheap shoes. You don't have to, but give yourself the best of nature. Go out to a nice park. Give yourself a nice meal. It could be really, it could be all organic broccoli, but splurge a little bit. You don't have to go broke with it, but it's just telling you, you deserve the best. And I think that's part of the self-esteem. I also thought when it said, give yourself the best of education, the High Priestess really is about education too. When you look at it, the pillars and the scroll, she looks like an educator, right? I just think I think that you need to give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to give yourself nice things. And believe it or not, I always think of it too that, yes, you might spend a little bit more on the expensive shoes, but if it's the shoes that last you a long time, like you don't have to pay the same $20 and keep replacing them, and then, it would have equated to the same cost of the quality shoes that, last you. I think that also speaks to that too. So, but all right, drum roll please. We're gonna go into your self-care card. Okay, so I really think this is self-care too. But let's see, what's your self-care card? Flipping around, it is candles. Oh, I love that. So have you ever lit candles while taking a bubble bath? Or it's actually kind of rainy today. Have you ever just, turned off all the lights and lit candles and listened to the rain? I think that would be relaxing, and that's kind of indulging your senses. And there's something kind of organic and simple about it, right? Oh, that's so beautiful. So I'm excited for you, pile number 1. You look at that week. Wow. You are a powerhouse. You are a powerhouse. Can I just tell you that? And you're so modest about it too. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna canter along, and I'm gonna wear the good socks. Not more than socks. The good perfume. You know what? I even challenge you to have a day where you just wear the best of everything. Like you wear the silk top and the pumps that make your legs look super long, and the Chanel number 5. Go ahead and wear it all. and if you're a Libra baby, I think that it's telling you to do that. Okay. All right. I knew I was going to have fun with this. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm so excited. And again, I'm so grateful that you're here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put your cards here. One thing you're going to see me do is hem and haw about every decision. Like in the first video, you saw me put the dice away and then I put the dice back, and it's a Libra thing. I'll tell you, you know, the number of mornings that it took me way too long to pick what I was going to wear, you know, even though I picked it the night before. It's jewelry, you know, jewelry decisions. It's an administrative thing, let me just tell you. All right, so pile number 2. All right, let me do this. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna shuffle a little bit more. These popped out. We're gonna consider them, okay? But one thing that was interesting is that these two popped out and it's the Three of Wands again. I don't know if there's something in the universe right now, like maybe in the collective, it feels like we're transitioning, right? We're going 3 to 4. This is the Four of Wands too. And what was it? In the How to Fool, someone got the Four of Wands, so. All right. So let me do this. Okay, pile number 2. I'm making note of the flyers. I am. Pile number 2. I just want to be very clear with the energy. For my pile number 2 people, what is their week going to be? October 5th, an awesome day, to October 12th. Pile number 2. Pile number 2, what's your week going to be? Okay, almost there. Sure we're focusing. Okay. I'm sorry if we keep going out of focus. I'm trying to work on that. Okay. Pile number 2. Pile number 2. What's their week? Okay. I'm going to go with that one. I'm trying to go with natural light, but it's been a little overcast today, so. All right, pile number 2. Let's keep going. Pile number 2. Oh, oh. All right. These two these are coming out in pairs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the front card as the energy, the main energy, and then I'm going to go with the back card as the descriptor. And let me just tell you right off the cuff, the back card, the descriptors are major arcana. So again, I don't know if there's something in the collective. We're having a major arcana week, people. All right, so let's go ahead, and I really like the Anna K cards because they're very descriptive. They speak, the images speak very clearly. All right, let's go ahead and get your animal card. I really love these animal cards too. They also scream. All right, so pile number 2. Pile number 2. One card, please. Oh, ask and you shall receive. Okay, mouse spirit. All right, that's interesting. That has a little bit of a Lenormand feel, but we'll get into that in a minute. Okay. The other thing is I love to shuffle on camera because just like you saw when it flies out, that's a very clear, like this is your card. But you can kind of hear it, and unfortunately it jostles my microphone. So if it bothers you, please let me know in the comments. I am going to hold an opinion poll. I'm feeling drawn to this card, and this one also wants to pop out. So I'm going to go ahead and give you 2, and I'll do the same thing where it describes. Okay, and we will do the same courtesy for all the other piles. If there's cards that come out in pairs, we will go with them. All right, because I'm trying to be fair. We want to be fair. It's a Libra thing, Libra thing. All right, so this is your card, and we're going to keep it face down. Okay, pile number 2. What's our self-care activity? What do we want pile number 2 to do to take care of themselves this week? I am kind of drawn to this one. I'm drawn to that one. We'll go ahead and, oh, so you can see it. Put it over here. All right. All right, let's go ahead and get our energies. Oh, wow, and this is Major Arcana too. Good night. All right. Well, the beginning of our week is very social. The 3 of Cups means parties. It means socializing. The vibe I am getting is it's a little bit, I'm getting a vibe that it is both in a personal and a work context. Like maybe you have a job that requires that you rub elbows, that you go just, maybe not even social events, but just events that might be luncheons or meetings, and you kind of have to, I'm not going to say schmooze, you're not schmoozing anybody, but you have to be present and you have to have a big smile on your face. And so you've been the beginning of the week is going to be a lot of that. It's going to be a lot of you going to meetings, you going to events that you could honestly represent a group as well. Like if you're a leader and you represent a team of people. So that's going to be how your Monday through Wednesday starts off. Now, the middle of the week, kind of your Thursday towards Friday, you have the Strength card. If you look at this, I really like the imagery for the Anna K. And then behind it, you have Death. And again, I've said this before, there are no bad cards in tarot. There are never any bad cards. Death, and honestly, I like the depiction of this. He's an angel. He's got his hand out to him. And when you look in the background, you don't know if that sun is setting or rising. And it basically means it means transformation is what it means. So in the middle of the week, it's asking you to be strong. The Strength card is, you see that this lion is kind of on a leash, but you see that the woman has her hands very close to this lion. In many depictions of this card, she's kind of gently opening its mouth, and it doesn't, when you look closely, it doesn't look that fearsome. It doesn't look like it's gonna bite her. It doesn't even look like it's yawning. It looks like it's just kind of almost complaining a little bit, like, why must I be on this leash? Why? And this is kind of the universe saying, when you look at it, you have Death saying, I'm holding my hand out to you. I'm offering you transformation. I'm offering you the opportunity to become something different. And it's not really, you can see that he's standing in the middle of the path. Unfortunately, Death is not someone you can kind of just step and walk around. And it's not saying everybody has free will. You never have to do anything that you don't want. But here it is kind of just saying that by the middle of the week, you're probably going to be feeling like you're going to need to muster your strength to get through some type of transformation. You're becoming someone new, or you're growing into a role that, and honestly, I can kind of see that. You're growing into some kind of position or role, or you're becoming someone new. And it's almost like growing pains is what it's like. It hurts, it's not comfortable, it makes you want to scream sometimes. But the Strength card also means that you can do it. And I know I sometimes bulk at it when I get that card. It's a beautiful card, but it's also one of those where I'm just like, I gotta be strong. Why? Why do I have to go through all this, pain or discomfort, or, why do I have to go through this, basically? But it is saying that, yes, you are gonna you might feel like you're the lion on the leash, or this could also mean that someone there is comforting you. That could mean that too. But it does indicate that there is some kind of transformation that you're going through, and you can resist it, you can say no to it, you have free will, but that doesn't, just because you say no to it or you decline the hand, doesn't mean that angel is gonna just go, oh, okay, going to be standing in the middle of the path, and he's still going to be like, okay, are you ready now? How about now? How about now? How about now? Right? Until you go with him. Now, but it is saying that you have the strength to do that, and don't doubt that. Don't doubt that. And honestly, it kind of means that if you just go ahead and go forward with it, it might be easier too. That's the other thing I'm kind of getting. But this is just general reading, so that's just until your Friday. Just until your Friday. Now, for your weekend, like your Friday, Saturday, possibly Sunday, We have the Knight of Cups, and then we have the Hermit. And I have a soft spot in my heart for the Hermit. What it's telling you is that by the weekend, you will have, the Knight of Cups is, the knights are the ones that are ordained by the court, by the kings and the queens and the emperors, to go on missions. And the cups is a mission of the heart. It's talking about bringing your emotions to something. It doesn't necessarily have to be a declaration of love to somebody, but it definitely means bringing your heart or your vulnerability to something or someone. And here I'm getting kind of the vibe that you're in this energy. You're probably thinking about you're either thinking about a relationship or something, or some area of your life that you need to bring your heart to. But behind it, we have the Hermit. And the Hermit is the card of the wise man who goes up into the mountains. And in Lenormand, mountains mean challenge. And you see how pensive and perspective he is. He has a candle that's been burned. You see the wax. It's been burning a while. And it just means that I'm getting the vibe that you've been in a contemplative state about some kind of affair of the heart, and you're still there. He's not standing up and leaving the mountaintop yet. So I think you're going to be in the same place. And also the fact that I'm getting the fact that this knight, most of the time the traditional shows the Knight of Cups on a horse, like moving with that cup in his hand. Here you see he's standing there with flowers, like he wants to give them to someone, and look at his face, he's daydreaming. He's leaning on that sword, and he's just like, or he's not, oh, it's not a sword, I'm sorry. He has one of the flowers, and he's smelling the flower, and he's thinking about, look at all this red. But what I think is neat is look at the house. There's a house in the background. That's where this knight is supposed to be. He's supposed to be going up that path with those flowers in hand. You see somebody's home. Someone's home. The lights are on. But he's kind of daydreaming. And you can kind of see on the Hermit's face, he's daydreaming too. He's more pensive. You can tell I think he's thinking about important things. I'm kind of surprised earlier one of the cards that popped out was the King of Swords. And the King of Swords he's a thought-provoked guy. He honestly thinks too much. And here you have the Hermit, who's in great self-reflection, and you look at the light, you look at the candle, So I think by the end of the week, you will be daydreaming about possible solutions to some kind of heart-centered problem or thing that's going on. And but you're still going to be, the jury is still out. You're still going to be thinking about it, and you're going to be thinking really hard, and you're going to be thinking in a very mature way. Now, what kind of plays into that is you got Mouse Spirit, and in this deck it talks about tend to the little things, and it's number 40. Let's see, do we have any number synchronicities here? Strength is 11, death is 13. Which one is the Hermit? The Hermit is 9. But yeah, no real synchronicities there. But in Lenormand, the mouse kind of, what he does is, the mouse in Lenormand, he kind of deteriorates things, and it's not in a bad way. It just means that he goes into your cabinets and squirrels away with little crumbs of things. And then, if you've ever had a mouse in your house, I remember one time I had a mouse in my wall and I could hear him. And it makes you, and that kind of is the thought that I think when I think of the mouse, is that you get worried about little things. It is kind of like a don't sweat the small stuff kind of card. And the fact that it says tend to the little things, it's really telling me that it's going to be the little things in your situation, like it's going to be those little nuances that this man is thinking about that are going to be the solution. You don't have to do anything grand. Like, that's the other thing, is that the Knight of Cups kind of does grand gesture kind of things. When I see the Knight of Cups, I do kind of think of Lloyd Dobler from Say Anything, 3 a.m. in the morning, standing outside with the boombox. You don't have to do anything that big. But here it's kind of saying just start small. Or it also says possibly the solution, the strength, also the fact that strength is kind of, it's a marathon, not a sprint. That kind of speaks to me that just start small and do little things, and you'll get to the solution of your problem. Now, to get into your other oracle cards, you had 2, so I'm going to read it this way. I'm going to read the front one, and then I'm going to clarify it with the back one. Decide the outcome. Oh, I like this card. And by the way, it's a Libra day, and he kind of looks like a judge and judgment, and the legal system in general is kind of a Libra thing. And I'm just going to read a brief description of this card real quick, because I feel the book describes it way better than I ever could, but I've read it before. But decide the outcome. The greatest expression of spirit is to fully embrace your creative power and use it. The ego denies that you have any and falls into the trap of living like a victim. This leaves you with a sense of being hopelessly at the mercy of fate without a choice. And remember how he said he looks like he's holding out his hand like you have to take it, like you have no choice, right? Oh, I love how it kind of plays into each other. But okay, so the ego leaves you feeling like you have no choice. The spirit, on the other hand, not only knows that it's a divine creator, it actively directs your creative power every day towards satisfying goals. So, and the simplest way to support this process is to decide the outcome for your intentions before you begin. For example, rather than hoping you get a new job, decide that you'll have one and it will be delightfully satisfying to you. Instead of praying that romance will find you, decide that you'll love and be loved fully starting today. Plan your future based on your decisions rather than dreading it based on your fears. And this is that's kind of a creative visualization thing. Just you decide. The power is with you. I also thought it was great that there's kind of warm colors in both of this. And you see there's kind of grays and greens, and then there's golds and yellows. And yeah, that maitre d' is there to take your order. It's not the other way around. I mean, yes, the universe is kind of telling you that you do you're in a place in your life where you're making major changes. Now, the other card that I get this card often, and I really love it. It's called Call Your Spirit Home. Call Your Spirit Home. And you can see it looks like a little house there. And it says, here, are you growing tired yet of the same old blah, blah, blah of disinterest that your ego mind comes up with whenever you get a whiff of inspiration? Are you tired of the same old dreary arrangement of self-denial, insecurity, and boredom that you come home to at the end of a very hard day of work? You feel this lack of inspiration because your joyful spirit has been living outside of your body and your home. Your ego has taken over and pushed it out the door. It's time to call your spirit back. Start by creating an atmosphere that appeals to it. It abhors darkness, chaos, dreariness, and carelessness. Your living space and inviting to your spirit. So here it's just kind of saying, are you doing what you love? Are you doing what you love? I honestly, when you kind of look at that knight too, he's standing outside with his flowers. Is he going in and really, doing what he loves to do? And here it's saying that you can start small. This isn't going to change overnight, but it is just kind of saying that, this week, this is your energies for the week. Why not practice it? Play with it. That's one way that you can start small. Go ahead and just play around with it. Say, okay, today I'm going to decide that this is what's going to happen, and then I'm just going to let it go. And then, today I'm going to do one thing that makes my environment or makes my spirit happy. And if you just kind of start there and then see where it goes. But definitely by the end of the week, you're still going to be kind of in a self-reflective mood. But I think, if you're going to be in the middle anyway, you might as well, make it a pleasant place to be, right? Right. Now, let's go ahead and get your self-care card, because I'm curious. I didn't see what it is. So let's go ahead and flip it over. Flowers! Oh my gosh. Oh, we got synchronicities here, people. I love synchronicities. Look at that. All right, Mr. Knight. Mr. Knight with your flowers. So the flower card I think is kind of neat because it means that in Lenormand, flowers mean a gift, like someone gives you a gift. So you might have someone give you flowers. And again, if you're my Libra peeps, it's your birthday, and maybe someone brings you flowers. The other thing is, this time of year it's been kind of, well, I can speak for where I am, it's been kind of hot. So you might, I like going flower picking. A lot of farms where you get pumpkins or other things, they have kind of flower fields. So if while you're there, you can pick up some pretty flowers, or even just going to the grocery store. If you really don't want to care for flowers, sometime this week, go by the flower department. Stop and smell the roses. I'm sorry, as cheesy as that sounds, because that's what he's doing, right? Okay, hold on. There's method to my method. He's stopping to smell the roses. She looks like she's smelling them too. So why don't you do that? Go ahead and enjoy it, or just hold a flower. Oh, I love touching rose petals. They're so soft and velvety. It's a tactile thing. But okay, so that was my pile 2. You guys have an interesting week. I'm sorry, I try really hard not to ramble, but that was interesting. I was amazed by that. And don't fear the mouse. The mouse is harmless, but he's a good egg. But definitely, tend to the little things. Don't let anything kind of. The other way I read that too is don't let anything kind of sneak off. Kind of take things away from you in little pieces either. Don't let anything deteriorate what you're doing. Okay. All right, pile 3. So you guys picked the special stone. Remember, this is a pretty one. It's a very pretty one. I thought about using it as a pointer. It's not quite that big, but it's a beautiful stone. And I will get the name of this. It's I will post the name of this in the. It's been a while since I used it, so but it's such a gorgeous deck. But let's go ahead and see our pile 3. Let's see for pile 3, what energies for this week? 3 cards, please. What energies for pile 3? What energies for pile 3? 1. Thank you. 2. Woo! Oh, we got some major arcana in the house too. We just talked about him last week. And 3. Okay. All right. You saw that again. You saw that. So I'm going to go with it. And if I flip it around, wow. Holy Toledo. Whoa. Okay, pile 3. Wow. I try not to make a judgment call as to who's having the best week ever before everybody's, had their turn. But okay. So we're going to. All right. I'm checking my time, and we'll check the audio too. I'm going to try to keep these concise. If I'm going too long, also please let me know. I don't mind feedback. I like feedback. All right, so pile 3. What is your energies for the week? Pile 3. What are our energies? Pile 3. Whoa. All right. We're going to go with this one, and it was flipping over, so. Okay. It flipped over, so there's no surprise anymore. We're going to let it go. Oh, wow. All right. And let's get your card. Okay, what is our self-care activity for pile number 3? I'm going to go with this one because it's sticking out and it's kind of poking me in the thumb. It's like, pick me, pick me, pick me. All right. My friend tumbles stones, and this is so pretty. I just thought it went really well. Again, it's the Libra thing. I'm so aesthetic. Everything has to match. Everything has to coordinate. All right, so let's jump right into it. So, wow. Now, to begin, the beginning of your week is the 10 of Cups. Now, this is the holy grail of all cards because it's in traditional tarot, it shows the happy family and it shows the rainbow with the 10 cups in the rainbow, and it's basically emotional joy. You see, it's a satiety, and that's just utter and complete fulfillment. And it's not really a fiscal card, it's not really a money-related card, but it's almost better than a money-related card. It's equal to the it is equal to the 10 of Pentacles, because it is, you know, it's happiness, but it's almost in like I always think of it as what money can't buy. It's that kind of personal fulfillment that, you know, you don't have to be a millionaire to have, and that's why I think the 10 of Cups is even more valuable. So I feel like the beginning of the week, you're going to be very happy, and you're going to be happy in that, you know, money can't buy kind of way. You're going to be like, you might be spending time with family, or you just might be in a really joyous. I also think here you see kind of a motherly figure, and the purple too. The purple. And when we get to the Temperance card, we'll talk about that. But red and blue is signifiers of divine masculine and divine feminine. And when you have purple, and here you have something that looks like a very, you know, there's kind of birds in her hair. This is a very artistic deck, but there's kind of a motherly figure and then a child. So this could be, and this looks like a boy and it looks like a mom. So this could be, you know, if you're male, you might have some kind of really good talk with your mom, or you might feel very celebrated. Again, if it's your birthday month, maybe everyone's coming together and just really making you feel special. I just think that it's going to be not, you know, material abundance, but emotional fulfillment and just feeling wonderful. And it really does look like it's related to family. Or if you are a mom, you're gonna have like some kind of special moment with your son or your child. By the middle of the week, this is the Fool, and we talked about it. If you want to check out my How to Tarot series, we go into a lot of description. But the Fool is starting off on a journey. It's the start of something new. So I really think that you're having some kind of emotional fulfillment of joy. It's not the Ace of Cups, which would make me think that it's like a new relationship, but here it's almost just like some kind of personal fulfillment with your family or your soul family, maybe your friends. You're just having a great week. You know, I know I have a tarot group with my tarot ladies, and after I've gone to a meeting with them, I'm just stupid excited. Like, I'm just like, wow, that was the best ever, and I feel lighter, I feel happy. And here it's kind of like starting off on something similar to pile 1. I think that you might have either some kind of new project. I'm also kind of feeling like you might be going on a trip. Here I'm kind of getting the feeling like he's really excited on where he's going. So again, if it's your birthday month, or maybe you just have we have a long weekend coming up, that maybe by the end of next week, I think Columbus Day is on a Monday, that you're going to be heading into like a 3-day weekend, and you might have like a weekend getaway kind of planned. I'm really getting that feeling strongly. Now, by the end of the week, things go kind of powerful. The other piles got major arcana too, but you're getting your major arcana towards the end of the week. So you start off kind of minor arcana, but like the best of the best. Here you have the Hermit, which the last pile got the Hermit, and I love the depiction in this. He almost looks like he's hovering, and you have the same mountains, and mountains represent challenge, but here he looks like he's meditating. It looks like, he looks like he's meditating and he's levitating above it. So he's, he's doing what he's rising above his problems by focusing on them. And the Wheel of Fortune is the sudden change of fate card. And what's beautiful, what I like about this deck is that if the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, you can see that it's got more of that would be more of, the wheel turning in a not so good way. But when it's upright, it means, you see how golden it is? What it means is that this usually means that something very quick and unexpected happens that's absolutely cool, like it's good. But whatever it is, and actually when you see this, the way the cards fell too, is it shows only that top half of the wheel. Something, a positive turn of fate is going to occur by the weekend, but it's positive, it benefits you, but it's gonna make you think. It's gonna make you it's gonna be one of those things where, wow, maybe it's something like, oh gosh, I got this opportunity to take this job that I've always wanted for more pay, but maybe it's asking you to, leave a building that you're used to, or leave coworkers that you really like, or maybe you have to move or travel or something like that. So I think by the end of the week, it might not be anything as extreme as that, but it's gonna be, I'm just reading it that way because major arcanas are major. They're not light things. If this were minor arcana, I might think that it was, something just, you went to the grocery store and, won, a lifetime worth of Cheerios or something. But here, I'm seeing something a little bit more heavy that's going to make you perspective. It's going to make your perspective change. And so it's a lucky windfall. It's a turn of fate that's really in your favor. And the other thing that kind of makes me think that it might be something like a change is the fact that, look at your oracle card. It says Groundhog Spirit, time to go. And you see how he's kind of holding on to that heart. Here, I really do think that it might be saying that it's okay to let go, because you kind of look at it and you can see he looks like he doesn't really want to let that heart go. And, and it says it, time to let go. I'm thinking here that you have a great opportunity to move forward with something, and it's going to kind of present itself in kind of a windfall way, and you're going to need a minute, and this is by the end of the week, by the weekend. And here it's making me think that it might be a little bit romantic in nature, because look at your other oracle card. We have Say Yes. And the last pile got flowers, and look at this. Actually, all three piles got flowers. All three piles had somebody bringing flowers to somebody else. I think so, right? Second pile. Yeah, that's crazy. Look at that. That must be our universal thread. Or whomever I'm tapping into, the collective that watches this. So, but here it is kind of saying, it says, the fact that it says, okay, lucky windfall, got a Fool here, start off something new is going to present itself. I think by the end of the week, the shock of of that something new is going to kind of wear off a little bit, and then you'll want to go into hermit mode, pull into your shell, go up to the mountaintop and think about it. But the fact that the advice or the oracle is saying, time to let go and say yes. And again, in Lenormand, flowers mean a gift. So I do think that that's some kind of gift from the universe. It's something that is well earned, but I do think that you might need to think about it, and that is completely okay. Definitely, if you, of course, anytime you get presented with something that would be life-changing or something really different, you don't want to go into that lightly. You would want to take some time and think about it. But it is kind of encouraging you to say that maybe wherever you were before, you might be kind of stagnant, or you might have just done your time. You've been there long enough, and you don't have to stay there. And it's okay to let go. It's okay to let go and say yes to this wonderful new opportunity that's presenting itself. And I think by saying yes, you're going to be very happy. The beginning of the week, you're really happy. You're going on some kind of new journey by the middle of the week, and then by the end of the week, you're going to be reflecting on a change, on something that has been given to you. And you're allowed to, it's okay to let go, and it's encouraged that you say yes. And it will be like a gift. So let's go ahead and see what you can do. So we're going to go for your self-care card. Okay, drum roll, please. Finger drum roll. Finger drum roll. And what is it? Oh, it's saying to draw. And there's flowers in here too. It's more of a mandala kind of thing. But so here it's saying that to go ahead and to draw. And I think it's so neat that you pick the watercolor cards too. And you know, the fact that I'm seeing a lot of purple. I'm seeing a lot of purple. You pick the purple stone. The Ten of Cups has a lot of purple, and all the trees in this background card is purple. I think maybe that might be a sign, a road sign for you. And then here, there's a lot of purple in this too. I would say that if you have kind of a lot of things on your mind, I know sometimes people like to do those. You ever do those little coloring books where you take pencils and you color in all the little flowers and all the mandalas and stuff, and it's very therapeutic, it's very relaxing. If you kind of have some big decisions on your mind and you just kind of want to check out, either that, or if you are a good artist, you could, do some drawing. I think for next week, that would be a good self-care. I think drawing really, it just lets you check out, especially when you got big, exciting things. And the other thing is, even though something is good, it can still be a little overstimulating. It can be a big decision, like, okay, am I doing this? So to kind of go back to something that you enjoy doing, like drawing or coloring, just to kind of relax and kind of get out of your headspace, I think that's a good thing. So that's the advised activity for the week. Okay. Well, that was really good. I really enjoyed that. I thank you for being here, and we will be doing a lot more of these. I actually have some really fun special readings that are coming up. If you want to join me back here on Tuesday, we're going to be doing the How to Tarot, and it's the Magician. And then, so that's on Tuesday. The following Saturday will be another weekly energy reading. It'll be just like today. And I will be doing I'll be throwing in a lot of specialty themed readings, especially towards the end of October. You're going to get a lot of extra special readings. So feel free if you want to tune into that. And also, if you have any feedback at all, please let me know if the sound quality is good, or if you want me to do something different with the lighting. Also, I will be holding an opinion poll to see if we prefer on-camera shuffling, or if you prefer pre-selected piles. And we will get back to the dice very soon. Probably in the next reading, I'd like to do those for the How to Tarot. But I thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to my channel, I would be honored if you would subscribe, and if you do subscribe, if you'd like to hit the bell icon, and you'll be notified when new videos come available. I thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.